Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're doing well today. And if you're not doing so great, then I'm especially glad that you're here because I hope to help you get feeling better. I'm Holly Pitus, emotion code, body code practitioner, and I work with people on an energy reset system. And so it doesn't matter if it's kind of a mindset or physical aspect that you're feeling. Uh, Working with the emotion code is something that can help you feel better. So, if you're not familiar with the emotion code, the book is behind me, and I think it might be backwards actually today, but it's called The Emotion Code, and it was written by Dr. Bradley Nelson. He's a retired holistic chiropractor, and he discovered the system, evolved the system, and he realized that even though people were having a great physical adjustment with his chiropractic care, they still had these reoccurring issues, and that there was really no physical reason for them to be having it. And he eventually discovered that within our energy system, there can be these trapped emotions that just for whatever reason were not fully processed during the original event. And so they just sort of stick around you. I was thinking today, if you remember the comic strip Peanuts by Charles Schulz, and there was the one little character named Pigpen, and Pigpen always had all of this dust and debris around him. And if you can imagine, that's a really good illustration of what it's like when you have these negative trapped emotions, that they're just sort of there and they're floating around you, and they can prevent your energy flow system from flowing easily. So what the emotion code can do is, again, if you imagine Pigpen and all those little spots, each one is a specific item. And the emotion code can very efficiently, very anonymously, actually, work over a distance to identify each of those and release them or dissipate them. So it's a great system. I love doing demonstrations, and let me just make sure this is what it would happen if you click the link that's above. If you're watching live, click the link which allows your messages to be shown, and so then I would be happy to do a demonstration with you. So I like to work with both pets and people. This is one of the little puppies that I have worked with recently. This is Samson, and he is doing really well. He is adjusting to his new home, and he is also making friends and being accepted by his older brother now. And I'm just looking to see if I have a picture of Murphy in here, and actually I don't. So Murphy is an adult male. Samson's a young male, and that was brought into the household. At first, Murphy did not want to have anything to do with him, and now they're best buddies. So, working with the emotion code can help, relieve those emotions of maybe feeling a little jealous, feeling put out, and help pave the way for having a good relationship. So that works with both pets and people. I do have a special coming up with working with really any type of animal that you have. So your pets can be anything. I don't have a picture of fish on here, but believe it or not, even fish can have emotions too. So whether it's cats, horses, dogs, if you are on a farm and you have large farm animals or goats, chickens, they all have a pecking order. Birds, of course. And so by working with some of the particulars of what your pet has going on. We're able to work with some behaviors that they might be doing, for example, separation anxiety, or kind of like emotional chewing or scratching. And this, of course, is not any type of replacement for veterinary care. The physical things, if it's a real issue for them, you do need to follow up with your regular veterinarian and follow up with veterinary care, just as you would with medical care for yourself or your family member. And, but when it's emotionally based or emotionally triggered, and one of the things that happens with the emotion code, there's different ways that we can have these emotions get attached to ourselves. So it can be something like inherited. So we inherit more than just our, eye color and hair color and maybe some facial features or body type features from our parents or ancestors. We also inherit beliefs, cultural beliefs, long-standing things, sayings. If you think about, well, my mom always said this, and I remember my grandma used to say it too. And then if you would go back a couple of generations, you'd find out that people have been saying it all along. And so you kind of have a tendency to inherit these things, and they can hinder you even though you don't realize that it's a thing. So emotions can be inherited, and they can also be absorbed. And especially with this picture with the animals, our animals absorb our emotions very easily. They're kind of like sponges for us because they are incredibly emotional beings. And so you come home, you have a bad day at work, or your feelings get hurt because you had a breakup or something's just not going right. They can take on your emotions, and then you might be able to process it, but they're going to hold on to it because they have absorbed it, and they didn't have the ability to remedy the situation the way that you may have. And you can even absorb emotions from your animal too. So for example, if they did have an illness and you were really worried about them, and you had to go through going to the vet or leaving them overnight at the vet, you didn't know really what was going to happen with the outcome, and you kind of get that stuck in you because it's a little bit of fear and panic and worry. You don't feel like you have control. Any of those emotions are ones that can very easily be absorbed by you. And so I have the chart here. Let me find a picture of it. And so this is the emotion code chart. This is the basis of what we work on when we work together. And so I have an easy system. I don't have to ask you really any personal questions. So it's not like, lying on a couch in therapy where you have to retell a story and retell a story and retell a story. This is something that we can just work on, actually, the issue that is bothering you. So if you have pain in your knees or sleepless nights, or your cat or your dog keeps licking their paws or something, we can go into the aspect of, with this physical thing that's going on, is there a trapped emotion that is causing this thing to happen? And so pretty often the answer is yes. And then we go through it. What is it in column A or column B? And we can whittle down to which is the actual emotion or group of emotions that is contributing to it. And then it's kind of like peeling the layers of an onion. So if it is something like anger, that's in row 4, column A, and it's unlikely that you were angry only one time in your life. So you might be, very trigger happy and, road rage, and you'll go right into being angry just at the littlest thing. So a lot of times these things, you may have been angry multiple times, and so we can sort of peel back the layers of each time this event happened, and or each time an event happened that caused this layer of anger. And so it could be the emotion of anger, but what you're actually experiencing is maybe ringing in your ears, or experiencing, again, insomnia or stomach aches or headaches or neck pain, discomfort of some sort. A lot of times it's your body trying to tell you that something is not processed or functioning properly. And so it does that. It speaks to you by how you feel. And so either, if you have a reoccurring ache or pain, or possibly a habit, like you're always reaching for certain cookies or certain candies, or you just can't pass that one kind of fast food place without stopping at the drive-up window. A lot of those things are really just emotionally based, and it comes from having trapped emotions. And those emotions can be from something as simple as reacting to a scene that you saw in a movie that your subconscious mind doesn't know if that was real or pretend. Everything to the subconscious is real. And it could be something really severe, like you have been in an accident or victim of a crime or witnessed a crime, or some sort of really terrible abuse or difficult situation. And maybe it was a work situation that was really toxic, or personal relationship that was toxic. It could be anything. Anything can cause anything. That is one of the things that Dr. Bradley Nelson, the creator of the system, says. And so through using the system, we're able to whittle down, find out what it is, and be able to release it. And so, like I say, it's really wonderful. It works with pets, with people. It can work with your kids, your relationships within your personal family, your work relationships. Sometimes you have difficulties that, maybe you're trying to promote your own business, or get into a certain school, or apply for a job, and for some reason it's just not going through. And it could be that you are having some sort of trapped emotions that are blocking you and stopping you from being able to cross that threshold and get into the achievement of your goals. So I'd love to be able to help you out with any or all of this. A lot of times when you start, you might think you want to relieve something major. Like suppose you have, some giant body pain. So you want to be able to relieve that. And then you realize that, oh, well, I guess that, I always have this other little thing happen. And it could be as simple as, like biting your fingernails, or having these other little habits that, like, you just won't get up to the alarm clock, or you know you should be going to bed at a decent time so that you're ready for tomorrow, and you just won't stop surfing, or any of those things. So that's kind of a long list. I feel like I'm rambling a little bit, but I do hope you come back and join me. Definitely book a session with me. Book a series of sessions with me. That would be terrific. We can be able to target all of these different things. You'll see on my website, there's a list of different categories that are really common for people. Some of the things I've touched on: relationships, personal relationships, family relationships, things happening with your kids, with your pets, with your work. And I would certainly hope to help you get feeling better. So do come back and visit me. If you want to connect with me, I would love to either work on some deep sessions with you. I've talked about the emotion code. I didn't even mention the body code, but that is something much bigger and deeper. And you can find some information about that on my website, hollypitis.com. And then I've got some classes coming up workshops that we can set, group sessions that we can do together. And additionally, I've got a couple of special sessions coming up, particularly with pets. So watch for some free session giveaways, and I will see you soon. And I hope to help you get feeling